You know, folks, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are asking this question for the past couple of days now. Well, at least it's almost been a week or going on a week, but I'm sure a lot of people have asked this question. And that is, why is everybody complaining about the JEM trailer? Why, most importantly, why are adult men, why are adult men and women complaining about the JEM trailer? Now, they might understand, oh, well, a woman's upset because they grew up on JEM, they were a fan of JEM, and this is not the JEM they know. So that would be perfectly understandable. But I'm sure they ask the question, why adult men? Well, believe it or not, adult men did watch JEM. Well, believe it or not, when we were young back in the day, we did watch JEM. Sometimes we didn't watch it as religiously as, let's say, our sisters or our cousins or something like that. We were more along the lines of people that watched it because sometimes there was nothing else on. If it was raining outside, like I've talked about before, or it's just one of those situations to where like I said, it was raining outside, or there was nothing really to do, nothing else on. We would watch Jim. We would watch it, and and surprisingly, Jim was appealing in some ways for even young boys at the time. Because yeah, you had all the sparkle and the glitter and all that was basically to attract the young girl genre, if you will. But there was enough in there for boys to kind of get focused on as well. Kind of like there was stuff in there that really surprised boys. Like there was some action, there was some adventures. It's like you watch the show and you're thinking, "Wow, I didn't expect this out of a girls' show," but yet there it was. But yet, there it was, and but like I said, yet there it was, and for stuff like that to be in essentially a girls' show, it was surprising. I mean, even the original MLP, no matter how you feel about that, had some of those elements as well. But again, the question I'm sure people have is, why complain? Why, why are adult men complaining about the trailer more, just as much, if not probably more so than the women? Well, because like I said, like Transformers and G.I. Joe, we grew up on it. We understood it. Well, not understood it, but we grew up on. Well, I wouldn't say understood it, but we understand. What I should say is we understand. What fans of the show want to see. You know, in an adaptation. We understand they want to see. Characters from the show on the big screen. They want to see that. They want to see those characters. They want to see the characters on the big screen. But they're not getting that. And this is why they're complaining. Like I've said before in the other videos, despite how you feel about how they, how they, brought G.I. Joe and Transformers to the big screen in their live action films, at least in a sense, they did the research. They understood that you got to have all the elements there to really, let fans know that this is what they grew up on. Yeah, it's different in some areas. Yeah, characters may not transform, like they say, Transformers may not transform into the vehicles you know them for and everything. But at least they're there. They are in the movie. They are there right in front of your face. So at least they understand that. They do research. Now, some might say, now I know some of you might say, well, if that's the case, I know some of you might say, well, if that's the case, then why did the guy who worked on G.I. Joe Retaliation, why did he screw up so much on JEM? The only thing I can think of, in my opinion, is probably he didn't watch JEM that much as a kid either. He probably heard about it, saw a glimpse of it, and probably felt that, not many people would really relate to it in some ways anymore. And that's just one of those shows that they could just do with what they will. And like I said, do what they will. Kind of change it up, and nobody would notice. Well, believe it or not, fans did notice. Because you see, when you're writing, now the thing is, you could put the blame on John Chu, or John, on the director, if you will, and say he's just as responsible as the person writing the story. Well, the person that writes the story is probably more responsible, because here's a guy that basically took the concept of JEM, stripped it of everything it was known for, and made it what you see now. And again, this is coming from a guy whose only movie credit writing was a television movie, and that's it. And this is a movie that he's written for now that's going to be theatrical. So, again, you can kind of see why fans are upset, and why many fans, women, yes, that grew up on the show, but even men who grew up on the show and actually enjoyed it, because not just of the music and all that, because of that action adventure element and some of that sci-fi element that was tossed in there. You can see why they're upset, because this is nothing like the JEM they know. Unless, like I've said before, and I'm sure anybody else would agree, unless this first trailer is nothing more than a teaser, it's basically going by the notion of don't judge a book by its cover deal, then one could understand that. One could be like, okay, maybe it is going to be like the cartoon. But then again, when you take a look at the budget that was spent on it, yeah, that kind of was one of the reasons fans aren't too happy. I mean, you put a big budget behind G.I. Joe and Transformers, and yet when it comes to something like JEM, it's like, whatever. So, these are many reasons. And again, it's about what you're used to seeing and what you're not getting. Like I said, with Transformers and G.I. Joe, yeah, people may have their differences about those films, but at least you got what you were used to seeing in the shows. You got what you were used to seeing in the cartoon. You got what you were used to seeing in the comics. You got those things. And you can kind of see why fans are upset, because they're not getting Misfits. They're not getting Stingers. They're not getting Synergy, if you will. I mean, except for maybe a throwaway line or something like that we saw in the trailer. You're not getting any of that. You're not getting JEM at the appropriate age that she should be. These are things and reasons why people are upset. And again, it's very, very understandable why you have both women and men upset at the trailer. Now, like I said, the trailer could be a deceiver. It could be better than we think. It could be exactly what we're hoping for, and the trailer's just being used to throw us off. But honestly, I don't think so. So, overall, folks, there's your answer. There's your answer as to why men and women are upset at the JEM trailer. Let me know what you think down below. Talk to you later. I gotta head back to work.